Hello everyone, welcome to Reactive Labs. Today we are going to talk about another design pattern which is a structural design pattern called flyweight pattern. So let's write it down first. Flyweight pattern. Okay, so let's start with the technical definition. Flyweight pattern is a structural design pattern that lets us fit more objects into the available amount of RAM. And how? By sharing common parts of the state between multiple objects. I know it might not be clear, but let me explain with an example. Let's take the example of a shooting game. Something like Mini Militia or PUBG or Break the Rocks or Shooting Duck. I'll show you what is the similarity between them. So let's take the example of Break the Rocks. So this is that game which we all must have played when we were kids. So it's like this is a mobile screen. There is a cannon here which moves from here to here, and uh, there are rocks coming from here. If you hit the rock, it will split into two, and you have to keep hitting it, or else you will die. So this is the kind of the game it is. So the rocks keep coming. So multiple rocks keep coming, right? And what's the similarity between this game and other games? Multiple similar rocks. Here, multiple similar bullets. Here also multiple similar bullets. Here also multiple similar ducks keep coming and you have to shoot them. So this is where this flyweight pattern is used, where you have multiple similar objects. Okay. So let's take this into account. This rocks. Considering we have a 2D screen, a rock will be considered a circle here. It will have coordinates x and y center. It will have a radius and it will have a color, right? If you have noticed, then big rocks have different color than small rocks. So what happens is, in this case, color consumes more memory than this x, y, and r coordinates and radius. Color consumes more memory than them. So color is basically something which has a higher memory consumption. Okay. So let's take this into account and think something. Assuming this color takes around 50 bytes, okay, and this XYR takes one byte at max. So total, let's say it is 50 bytes, okay. Then what does it do? Let's say a rock comes, okay, and this 50 bytes is for one rock, okay. And let's say you keep playing the game, and what happens is you hit 100,000 rocks. Okay? Because you never know when this game will end, right? It can go up to 1 million rocks as well. But let's keep our example to this 1 million and 100,000 only. It can be 10 million or 1 billion also. So, what will be the size? 50 bytes into 1 million. This will be 50 MB. So, it means your 50 MB of RAM will be consumed. Okay, in that game itself, but your device has other things to do as well. And I think I have taken this 50 MB as very less. It should go to at least 1 KB, and in that case this 1 M into 1 KB would become 1 GB. So your one game, and that game which is still going, it's not even ended yet, so it will consume your 1 GB of RAM already. And if you have not programmed that game well, then it will lag your phone down, lag your device, whether it is computer or mobile phone or tablet, anything. Similarly, in games, when you play Mini Militia or PUBG, if you keep playing it for 2 3 hours, you don't realize how many bullets you have shot. It can be much more than what we can think of. There is one thing which I have not even taken into consideration here, is that these rocks in the games keep moving. So they have velocity, their position keeps changing, which also accounts for more memory, right? So this is what we need to consider, and this is where we are going to implement flyweight pattern, and we will see how this is helpful. Okay. So one thing to keep in mind for the flyweight pattern is that it has, the properties are separated into two types: intrinsic and extrinsic. Okay. So we have some intrinsic properties, we have some extrinsic properties. What are intrinsic and what are extrinsic? So we are going to separate it like this. Intrinsic will be those which consume more memory, just to keep it simple, and extrinsic will be the ones less memory. Okay. And also more memory but fewer in number. So if you see the rocks, the circles which come, they don't come in too many colors. There may be red, brown, green, yellow, hardly 5 to 10 colors. Okay. So that's why we are going to reuse it. So even if one color takes memory, like let's say 10 KB, even if it takes 10 KB, what will happen is we have only 10 colors. So it will be only 100 KB. And other things, other parameters, x, y, z, radius, velocity, these things, let's say they all will take up combined to be 10 bytes. So even if now we have 1 million bullets, or 1 million colors, 1 million rocks, it will be only 10 MB, which is not much, right? Then you have to go to 1 billion, which will consume then 10 GB of RAM. Then it will be slow. And for that, you have to play the game continuously for many, many days, right? So that's why it is going to be helpful. And how flyweight pattern achieves this is by making sure that whatever the intrinsic property is there of the object, it should not be repeated. Okay. So now that this is clear, let's see how it is implemented. Okay. So we'll take the example of rock. So rock is basically what? A circle. So we will have a circle class. It will have intrinsic and extrinsic properties. Intrinsic property will be color, extrinsic properties will be x, y, and radius. Okay. Now we will have a constructor, the circle constructor, and the constructor will only take the color and it will initialize the color. Okay. We know how to initialize it. I'm not going to write for that. And we will have things like set x, set y, set radius. So these functions will also be there. Okay. Great. Now what? Now we will have something called shape factory or circle factory, rock factory. Because we have rocks all of the circular shape, so I'm going to make it a circle. If we had rocks like of different kinds of shapes, then we would have a shape factory which would give us different shapes of rocks, right? So I'm just using circle factory here, and circle factory will have something called a map, and it will have a map of what? String. This color is a string here, that's why string, and it will have a circle. Okay. And let's name it cmap. Okay. Then what cmap does is it will store, it will check whether a color, a circle of a particular color exists or not, and it will have a get circle method. So the job of this get circle in the circle factory is to just get a circle, make a circle of a particular color. Okay. And this get circle will take color. Okay. So what we will do is we will check. Okay. Let's check a circle C equal to, we will check in the map cmap dot get color. In the map we will check for the color, if the color exists or not. Then if the color does not exist, then only we will create it. If the color does not exist means if the color is null, sorry, if this, yes, if the circle is null, then we will use the constructor to create circle. Okay, this constructor we are going to use to create the circle. Okay, and once the circle is created, we will put it back in the map. Put the circle back in the map along with color, right? So color and circle. Else what we will do is, if this is not null means it is already created, then we will return the already existing object. We will return the circle. We will return the circle C, because we know that it is already existing in the map, and since it already exists in the map, we will just return that. We will not go and create it once more. So what happens is, for each color, for red color we will have a circle object, for yellow color we will have a circle object, for green color we will have a circle object. For each of the colors we will have a circle object, and whenever someone asks us to return a circle, we will just return the object, and then it will be the job of that person or that object to set the x, y and radius for that. They will call set x, they will call set y, they will call set radius on that, and they will call set these extrinsic properties, and our job is just to give the extrinsic properties. So I think that's it. The client code is just going to use this function shape factory and set these and start using it. So that's it. I hope this clears the fundamental concept of flyweight pattern, and that's it. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like, share and subscribe. I will see you in the next one.